it's a long day of many things. Torque wheels, lower tire pressure, choke knob, dimmable speedo lamp. Now that's not, that new speedometer I put on the Spitfire, that GPS is not, I don't see any way to dim that, it's so bright. So I'm gonna put LED lights in. I gotta seal the bulkhead. I gotta put the gauge bracket on. I gotta change the jets and the Weber. I gotta put TR4 pads on, front pads. Austin Healey overdrive rebuild, that'll be a separate video. I'm taking everything out today. The Harley, the Jag, and the Healey are all going out today. And I've been working on my clocks up at the house too. So got some stuff to do today. I think what we're going to start with here is changing the jets in this synchronized two-barrel. I think it's a 3236, I can't remember. But let me get this off. Boy, I've done this enough times. And I'm not exactly beat to death of it, but it's just too damn lean. Okay, gang, let's see here. Main jets down there. Secondaries, idle jets here and there. So just make sure everything's tight, including the carburetor itself. And I got everything laid out here. My secondaries down to 120 to 160, 200, 165, and those and everything. So I'm going to pull out, and I'm just going to go a little bigger on each of them, and that'll hopefully help us. Now remember, if you run things too lean, it's almost as bad as too rich, because it'll blow up your motor sometime. Heard of it happening? Never seen it. Okay, so I've got everything out of it. So it was 210, and then 150, and then 60, and then I didn't even look at this one yet. And then a 60. So I gotta turn that sun off. Okay, 60. Okay, that's lean. Okay. So I'm gonna have to mix and match here. So, I don't think I'm gonna have a lot of choices here, because that's as fat as it gets right there. Oh God, it's so damn windy. So it's just disturbing this work actually. So let me close the door. I don't know. I'll tell you what I'm going to do at the end, I guess. So we got the 210s are staying here. I'll bump those from 150s to 160s. This is going to stay a 60, and I'm going to probably bump up this side. But this is a good time to to change the O-rings on these things too. So get your seal glide ready. Change these O-rings, because them things there is flat. I know for a fact that O-ring can't be more than 2 or 3 years old. It's just terrible. It's just hard as a brick. So, it's a tough environment. Didn't do anything real big, but you shouldn't do anything real big. If you're only if you're on 14 and a half or 13 and a half or so, and you're going for 14.7 on an average, then you shouldn't be doing too much. Let's put her back together and take her out. Sounds good to me. And yeah, you know the drill. You've seen it before. The little E-clips and the choke mechanisms and stuff. I got all my LED lights in there. I look forward to seeing those tonight. So we'll see if it brightens up, especially the tachometer, because that just, I looked at that sitting here and I looked at it on the film. It's just awful. Not that you really, really need it, but if it's there, you want it to look right. But dang, I wish I could find a way to turn that thing down. I might call Holly and see if there's a way to make that not so flippin' bright. I mean, I get it in a way, but I'm just not used to it being so bright. I'm running out of daylight, so I gotta go in. I gotta get some rest. Took the Bonneville out. I believe I've got that carburetor about as good as I'm gonna get it. I think she's just right in the middle. I took the Healy out. The overdrive's working perfectly, but I still want to go through it. The TR4's on the lift, and the brake pads are ready to go in. I gotta grab this call. It's almost 8:30, and we're gonna take her out. We're gonna see what all of my work looks like after today, after doing all the LED lights. Let's see what happens here. And I did all that jetting work. Can't see where to put my flashlight. Well, I'll just turn the flashlight on then. Okay, so ooh, there's my brake lights. All right. Let's see. Clicky click. And give her a couple of pumps. Boy, ain't she a peach. All right, okay. So let's see what the lights look like. Oh, well, that's better. It ain't that. That ain't that, but that's better. And there's my fuel gauge lamp, looks better. Oil pressure gauge looks better. Well, the lamp and the fuel tank. And oh, I've got to turn this on real quick so it'll get going. I got a request to write a review about autometer stuff, and then I get a 404. I can't do anything with it, so it won't let me. It says page not recognized or something. And so it's really, I think it's really 8:30. Come on, baby, wake up. You can hear that. I don't know what that is. So then she'll go down. You know, I was thinking I would put a piece of film over that if I had to. You know, just something to tone that down. It's just too flippant for me. Alright, let's, where am I? I'm not even near warm yet. So that says 414. And that says 20 to 11. And it's not even close to either one of those things. Get my glass on. I'm not used to wearing clear glasses. Let's see. Okay, let's keep going here. Oh, there we go. And there's my little indicator light that I have come to love. Let's take it around the block. Oh, I thought that was a... Yeah, I smell that raw gas. Alright, let's hit the road at night. And I'm going to go ahead and just hit the high beams. She'll buck at you. She comes back. If it continues to do do this, I'll call in. Let's put her up for the night. I gotta give that a pretty good, it just seems to be right in the middle kind of a thing here. The hell's, oh, that's that cloth with all the gasoline on it. All right, let's put her up. Gotta leave enough room to, so there she is at idle. All right, give me a thumbs up. Gotta keep her purged out. Okay, so let me turn the lights off. All right. Close things up for tonight. Be sure and subscribe, and I hope we don't hit nothing, and we will talk about something later. I'm sure I'll think of something. I was watching that very eloquent, experienced, intelligent man today that has the 65 hardtop Bonneville with the 421 in it. Great information. I mean, I grew up with him, but I never dreamed somebody would be that knowledgeable at this point in time. And I'm going to show you this. I'm going to tell you a secret. See my clock right there running? See, it says jeweled. The original clock is upstairs in a box. See the sweeping second hand. And I'll tell you what that is. That is the original hands, including the second hand and everything else. And I'm going to tell you what it is. It is one of those $4 mechanisms you can get on the Jungle website. And I cut it down, I put it in there, put the hands on it, and it took me a long time. And it is powered by that battery right there. I just changed it. I just don't do this. Don't solder on the ends. I do it all the time, but it's probably okay if you don't sit there and linger about with it. But I just wired it up. Well, I had the dash out, and every now and then I just change the battery, and I got a clock. And it's impressive to a lot of folks. I'm going to take this stuff out. This might be my rattle. I don't know. But there's my original Pontiac floor mats and everything. And he was right about these things being so beautiful and elegant. But the 64 is pretty close to the 65. I do admire the vent up in the dash. I do admire that. Very nice. And I do have the AM FM, but it's quit working a long time ago. Got the speaker stuff. I did a video on this, and he talked about this being real wood. And I had to make this piece of wood. I had to make it with a table saw and some careful cutting. And behind it, you'll find the fluted. You can almost see it back there for the non-wood trim, the metal fluted stuff back there. And they stuck that over. I cleaned this up with some linseed oil one time. And there's my heater blower thing, but there's my vintage air. So I won't go much into it. I'm just glad the clock's running. And if you want to set the time right, you got to set it on your phone and come up here and hook this thing up at the right time. But I don't care about that. So anyway, let's go over there and work on TR4 and put some new brake pads on it. She was okay. Brakes were okay on her, but I've got these new Bosch pads, so let's go put them on. Just wanted to show you I did kind of cheat. But I will tell you that the original clock did work up until a couple of years ago. I mean, like 2 years ago. So from 1964 to, what, 40s, 50, 60, I don't know, whatever it was. But it worked, and it's upstairs. It could probably be rebuilt, but no need to. I did it for about $5. So why would you spend $150 to fix that? Okay. I tried to peel some of this film off to put on the gauge of the Spitfire, but it ain't coming off. It's too old. I got to get something different. Maybe I can find something with like a green tint or something anyway, instead of the mirror. That's all I had, but it will not separate. I tried heat. I tried the super glue on both sides. I tried everything. It doesn't separate. Okay, so here we are on the TR4. So we're getting ready to, I think this thing has classic gold pads on it, and I think they're okay, but boy, these are better. I wanted Econubas, but sorry about the wind, but that's the way it is. But I couldn't find them. Maybe I didn't look hard enough, but these look mighty nice, and I think it's going to be better. So anyway, let's put these on. Not hard to do. It's actually a piece of cake, and you'll be surprised how I've done this before. You'll see how easy it is. Just 2 pins and some little things. Real easy. All right, it's here we go. Ready? You pull this out. You might need a little screwdriver. I'm trying to do this one-handed, but it's, see, get that thing out. And I have very, very definite feelings about the way those go in there. So, so you pull those 2 little things out, and then you pull this out, and I got a feeling we're going to be, there you go, and then that. So you can do these basically one-handed. Let's do one and then the other. Let's try that. You just need to give it a little bit of slack. Let me just well, they're loose, they're just not coming. Alright, I like these vice grips, these Nipex things, whatever you call them. Channel locks. Alright, let's try this. I don't know. I'm going to try to remain in the one-handed mode here, but my old friend there you go. Like I'm telling you, these don't look too terribly bad. Come on, baby. And then you're probably going to lose this plate because this comes with keep these as spares, I guess. I don't know why. I might want to clean your hands off at this point. We're going to get the Jag out here in a minute, and so these just simply go back in. Try not to touch them. I think that I'm going to, there you go. See, they just go right in like that. And repeat 3 times and you're done, and that's all there is to it. Now, before you even start the car, don't make mistakes like a lot of people do and just drive off, because you're going to have to pump these brakes up a little bit. And that just go real easy. And make them seat. And there you go. And you just pump them up and the pedal gets, there you go. Now, when I was under the car, I found an oil leak, or discovered oil was leaking. I thought, well, another day, another oil leak. And I said, well, it's coming from way up high because it was dripping off the coil. And I thought, well, that's valve cover gasket. And what it is the bolt that holds on the coil. You gotta focus. Oh no, because you're way out of line. I see this happen to all of us. I saw Big Clive had it happen the other day too. So pump up, don't even turn the motor up till you got your brake pedal back. And if you look right there, see there's 2 bolts that hold the coil plate on, and that one is not there. Oh, focus, there it is. It's just not even there. It fell out. I guess I forgot to tighten it or something. But I'll tell you a secret. Those bolts are open to the block, just like the generator bolts brackets. Those are open to the block. So it was just pouring out oil out. Didn't lose much. Probably lost about half a pint or something. But it's not too messy. But yeah, all I gotta do is put a bolt in there. That's not a bad idea. When you got holes open to the block and you crank her up, she's gonna leak on you. Okay, and I'm doing some other little minor body things, nothing much. So let's get this girl out here. I'm just going to put you in the seat. And I put some gas in her. I got some racing gas in her. Some 101 non-ethanol, so I had about 3 gallons left. So let's get her going. Okay, she's running fine. The clutch isn't frozen up. I don't guess there's anything behind me. All right, let's park here. Ooh, that's kind of bad, isn't it? Let's stay here a minute and see if she's dripping anything, gas, oil, or otherwise. So let's get the needles off the mark. That's good. We're not going to go far. Let's see if there's anything there. Nope, nothing there. Okay. She is a Jaguar. She always lurching and wanting me to put it down to the floor. So yeah, I should have cleaned the windscreen off. I don't have a lot of time today, so I gotta kind of keep moving. All right, let's go up and come back. Got a thumbs up from a couple of motorcycle dudes. Okay, she's good and warm. Pressure's way too high. I know that. She's got to get real thorough warm, but I just would rather, I feel better at home. So I only do this every now and then, just to keep the brakes safe and everything. Okay, let's get the sickle out. You have to just trust me on that one. I guess for some people it's horses, but for me it's Jaguar E-Types. I got to tell you, I know it's got wood dust all over it, and I don't care about any of that. It's breathtakingly beautiful to me. I can just look at it all day. First time I saw one, I'll never forget it. I was riding around in Charlotte, and the gold one was at a red light, and they were going to the Jaguar dealer. It's called Auto House Britain, and there was a different kind of dealers there, and that thing was just unbelievable. I couldn't understand how anything could be that beautiful. And I love the Bonneville and everything else, but not too many people will appreciate this much anymore. But oh, what a lovely machine, if I say so myself. Well, I'm into this world now, this battery world, and I took my Streamlight apart. It's almost brand new. There can't be 7 or 8 hours on the thing, and it's just not keeping a charge well. So I went to get the battery out of it, thinking it was going to be one of these or one of these, and it was actually one of these. You guys seen these yet? This is the proprietary 74175 made and assembled. Okay, well, whatever that means. That thing's almost $30, $25, $30. So what I'm going to do is, I've already taken it apart. It's not too bad to take apart. You see, it looks like your positive is in the center and your negative is on the outer ring. And this plugs into the circuit board. It may never work again, but I don't really care. So you end up with this kind of action on the thing. And I'm going to, I've already ordered them. I ordered some good, real good of these. And as you can tell, they're a little smaller. And none of these are bad. I think this one is probably just weak or whatever. And I also took this one apart, and I took my fancy running snail solar panel hand crank battery thing. There's two of the little devils in here, and they don't mark it positive. It's pretty obvious these days, but I still like doing that. So I'm in this deep world. But I am going to wire this up so the Streamlight that takes this will take that, and that's going to be it. These are half the price, and there's something definitely wrong with this one. So we'll see how that goes. These are the little worlds you end up with. This is the circuit board out of the Streamlight, and it all just plugs in. It's all plug and play, basically. And we need to get Big Claudia and talk about the MOSFETs and so forth. But we're not going to do any of that. So, well, that's a complicated little devil. But I like this one because of the way the switching works. This one, you have to switch all the way through to turn it off. This one, if you switch on whatever you want, if it's the first setting, and you can hit it, and it'll turn off if you leave it on there for, like 5 or 10 seconds or something. So here we are in this deep, dark world of all these funky little fittings. God, what a world. Even that thing, that kit doesn't always have the right stuff, and I got my great big 100-piece kit of bits and all, and still. Oh, and I found this out too. This switch, it's real fancy bit, but I found that just a little Phillips head screwdriver does fine. So I think they might have outsmarted themselves a little bit by trying to make it so fancy that it's not fancy anymore. The beast is at the gates. The 25-mile-an-hour winds. Let's talk about this thing. It leaked oil out of the drain plug on the oil filter housing. Yes, my friends, you can look it up. I can't show the Jaguar book because, boy, Jaguar is really tight about copyright stuff. So I have all the books. I bought them, but I can't show them on YouTube. I got spanked for that one time a long time ago, so I'm just not going to do it. But I can show you the parts, so that's what I'm going to do. So these cars are interesting in that they hold a whole lot of oil. You know, this is the 1977 S1 4.2 liter inline six. So this has the gigantic metal. I don't think I can show it to you even. It's so buried in the car. The thing is, if you want to change the oil and filter in this thing, it's like a kitty cat's been in here. How'd the cat get in here? She's never outside. Look at cat prints. Okay. When that happened. So anyway, it doesn't look like long ago, does it? This thing is never outside overnight. It's never outside when I'm not here. So the oil filter in this thing is that, well, you can see it okay. It's that blue periwinkle thing I powder coated. But this is the old metal can with a drop-in felt filter. So if you want to change that thing, you got to take all of this off. You don't got to, but you do. Or you can take that metal pan off that you see underneath there, that aluminum pan looking thing down at the bottom, silver looking thing. You can do it that way too. It's still tough to do, but and you can just, you can't even see it. Yeah, you can see it there a little bit. But you see those wires coming up right? Well, I don't know if it's going to focus because of all the stuff. But there's a transducer there, just like at the end of the crankshaft for the tachometer. As we all know, transducers take a mechanical and make it electrical, or vice versa. Dog eat dog. And so I was running her the other day, and I noticed there was a pretty fair-sized puddle of oil under it. She'd only been idling for about 10 minutes. But the drain plug in the oil filter housing was leaking. I've never really been real happy with that. So some years ago, I bought this. Now, I use these lines, and I'll tell you the story behind this. This is, I don't know, probably 1970s through the end of the era on XJ6s. This is that same housing that's on this car, kind of. This is the later, you can tell it's newer because it says Leland on it, British Leland symbol on it. And so they had oil coolers on them from the factory. And so this will work on this motor. And if you can find one of these, I would recommend you get it. So, but this one, as you can tell, we're going to take these off, and takes a spin-on oil filter. And I have one coming just in the event that one keeps leaking. So this is, it goes on the car on the side of the block like this. That's the oil pressure regulator. And it's got a plug there and this and that. But on the one that's the older type, you will find that the drain plug is right here. So you could actually drain the filter and not take it off. You know, I don't see any point in that, but I guess that's the way they planned it. I guess you don't need to change the filter so often, but I do. I change them every time. But some people, I guess, didn't. So if you just want to drain the oil out of the older ones, you use a drain plug right here. They, of course, let that go by the wayside because spin-ons are a lot easier anyway. So that's where the leak was coming from. And it's a funny little, I think it's a, I don't know what size bolt it is. 5/16, 24, 3 of 20, 24, something like that. And I put a copper washer on it, and I put a little sealant around the threads, and I ran it for a good long time, and it didn't leak. So I had two kind of funky oil leaks, one completely my fault, and one, I believe somebody might have over-tightened in that thing at one time. And so this is, you got to have this funky gasket. And on this car, I actually ran this on this car for a while when I was not trusting the one that I have on there now, the older one, because I just didn't. And I actually had an oil cooler on this car for a while, and these are so problematic with these kinds of fittings, whatever they call them, yeah, K and B fittings, whatever. And they just weeped and leaked, and I think the oil cooler is actually over there. And it just was a terrible leaky system, and I just kind of went back to the right thing. But there was a place that had used aviation stuff. There's the oil cooler I was running on it. It's this big black one right here, and nastiness that thing was. And there's the one that was on Spitfire for a while. But then I had to go to a remote oil filter on that thing. This was on the TR4 spin-on adapter. I do not like spin-on adapters. But yeah, but now it just holds spiders. But anyway, that's my little bit. So like I say, from the late 40s through the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, I think into the 90s, that block was used in all kinds of XJ6s and same exact block, and that's in this car. They just messed it up with a bunch of computer control stuff, and it got more and more problematic. But a 4.2 liter straight six is cool. So anyway, EAO 3146PA. And there's other part numbers, but you probably can still find these. I need to look this up, see what it's worth. It might be worth something, but I'll probably keep it just for safety. So that's my dissertation on that. And there's where I was trying to find. This is what I was trying to find to take that Streamlight, the bit to get the dang screws. Why does it have to be that way? It's just annoying as all hell. So let's look under here, and I know it's not leaking, but I'll look under there in a minute. Okay, that's going to be it. I've got some new headlights. I'm driving her a little bit more at night, so I've got some new headlights. I'm not getting the $75 each LEDs for her. These are halogen Wagners, but these just don't seem to be doing the task anymore, and so I'm going to try some new ones. They just seem to be just terrible, and so I've got some new ones coming, some super bright ones. Very honest about it too. They say 20% brighter won't last as long. Well, check. I mean, she's probably going to get 10, 20 hours a night driving a year, if that. So I think I'll be okay with that. All right. Oh, yeah. Thumbs up, like, subscribe, all that stuff. Be sure and subscribe and share and have them subscribe too. I sure appreciate y'all. I was going to cut the grass, but it's just miserable out there in the wind. I just don't want to. I've been windburned and moonburned for days on end here, and I'm just kind of tired of it. Can't wait to get the metal roof. It's on the way. Another week or two.